Hola.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Car Rides with the Richies. We are back.
We are back in 2020.
It's been a long time. Over a month.
Yes, over a month. And we have so much we want to share with you guys. And
a lot of catch up now since we've been back.
yes, you forgot to tell everybody what day it is.
That's true. Let me figure out what direction I need to go real quick. I think I turned the wrong way already, but we'll go this way.
It is...
It's January 15th. 1:35 p.m. We're heading out to the stores.
Yep, we are on our way to a furniture store. We need to grab some stuff. So that's what we're doing.
Grabbing stuff.
Yeah, it's been a really amazing last couple weeks. We went to the U.S. for 3 weeks or so, and we got to spend time with family and got to see friends. We didn't get to see everybody, what made us very sad, but we still got to see some people, and it was a wonderful trip. We really wanted to have this trip back to the States be more relaxing. I think last December when we went back, it was like we were driving all over the place, meeting with people, and so this time around, we kind of did it differently. We stuck in one spot, and we had meetings with different people every 2 hours at Woods Coffee, and we wish we could have done more days, but at the same time, we are just getting off of a really busy year of language school, and we were exhausted, and so just to rest and be at our parents' house. And shout out to Dana, who's going to watch this, because she cooked us such delicious food. We barely even went out to eat that much, because I think we went out to Texas Roadhouse like 2 times.
3 times, I think.
Was it 2 or 3? 3 times, but the rest, like Dana, who, for those of you who know, my mother-in-law, she was cooking amazing meals, and we were just soaking it all up. And so, yeah, and then
we graduated on the 11th, December 11th, and then we flew out the very next morning on the 12th.
Yep.
Landed into Schuyler. Kind of a funny story is we were coming down the escalators to the baggage claim. I know we were on baggage claim 13, and so I saw the sign that said baggage claim 13 to the left. And so I said to Melissa, I was like, oh, it's going to be to the left.
I was tired, okay?
And then as we were coming down the stairs, I see Schuyler, and then I see Schuyler sees us. And so she like gets up and she starts pointing at us, and I'm like, oh, there they are, to the left. And then Melissa's like, where? And she starts running to the right. She's like, I don't see him. And I was like, it's because you're going the wrong direction. And so that was kind of funny. But
I was pretty tired, so.
when did we land in? We landed in at like 6 o'clock, I think it was, or 7 o'clock. We didn't get home until...
No, it was later. Wasn't it? Oh, no, you're right.
We didn't get home till like 8. It took 3 hours to get back when it normally takes hour and 45.
There was a lot
2
of traffic.
hours. Yeah.
And then we flew back with a team. So we flew back with our Cornwall Church team. Oh, well, before we move forward, I have to say...
we're skipping all of Washington so far.
I know, but I just have to say, one, I was really surprised at how many comments we got when we were back up in Washington about this YouTube channel, Car Rides with the Richies. I feel like a lot of people make comments about it and just like, oh yeah, your rides. And so that really made us feel loved, because we're like, oh, people are actually like watching at least some of it, if not all of it.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool. And I have to give a shout out to one of our friends. Some of you may remember, I think it was the last 1 or 2 times ago, I was talking about going on mission trips and how when you go with older people, and I had mentioned some people being in their 50s, and I got called out in Washington.
Lance Illman.
Lance, well, I don't know if we want to give the last name. We're not going to tell you.
No, we were going to give you a shout out, though. We're giving you a shout out.
Yes, we're giving you a shout out. Lance and Colleen,
friends.
Thanks for watching. We love you guys. We had such a great time meeting at Woods and getting to catch up and kind of share a little bit about our lives, but also getting to hear about your guys's. And so we can't wait till you guys come down.
Yep. Make it soon.
Praying about that. So yeah, we love you guys. And Lance, again, sorry, bro. You know, yeah, people in their 50s, they're not old. They're not old. Okay, anyways, so moving on. So that was really fun. That was fun to get some comments about our YouTube channel and how people are watching it. Anything else you want to add about just being in Washington?
We did the Reindeer Cafe, or Melissa and Skylar did.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. I think we talked about that, but Melissa just came up with the idea for Christmas, when we all have breakfast, to make it like a restaurant. So she created a menu.
And Skylar is my little elf.
Skylar's her
elf.
Helper,
her and Dana.
And so they just kind of inventory all the things we have that we want to eat, and they put it on this menu, and then they serve us food, take our orders, and then while the food's cooking, Skylar did a little dance. What do they call that?
She did a little show,
like an intermission, or when you're waiting.
Yeah. I told her, I said, Skylar, go out there and entertain the guests.
Yeah.
She said, okay.
Yeah, so we had entertainment, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Christmas was good. Same thing we always do. We're at my parents' house, open gifts, do gingerbread house. Melissa and Skylar do the gingerbread houses. I like to just watch football, hang out, just.
Yep. Oh. I will say too, I feel like going back to the States, it was so neat to just, be at our church. I was like on the verge of tears when we were worshiping. It's just so filling for our hearts to be worshiping in our native tongue and in English. And it was just really sweet to see just friends and talk with friends that were listening and encouraging to us. And I had brought up to one of our friends that we met with how sometimes I feel like, for this last whole year, like we have not grown spiritually. At least it doesn't feel like it, because, our whole focus for the year was language learning. We didn't read English books, and we didn't listen to many English podcasts. Like, we just weren't really filling ourselves up and like growing in our leadership and like just doing those things. And I was reminded by a friend how, and I'll say this kind of towards the end, it goes off of Psalm 131, but just like it says in that psalm in a roundabout way somehow, like I am not including myself in these big matters, in these big wonderful things, but instead I'm like a child being weaned, like a child that's being held by his mother being weaned. And like I'll explain that a little bit later, but it was so encouraging to hear. It's like, no, like Melissa and Brian, like you guys this last year, it's actually contemplation and meditation of the Lord that grows you spiritually. And when you're in valleys, or when you're in things, that don't feel well, there's actually growth that's happening in that. And so it's not about how many Christian books you can read. It's not about how many podcasts you listen to. It's not about even everything that you had done. It's about being and sitting, abiding, remaining with the Lord, and just being still, like being held and being content in that. And so oftentimes we think doing more is best, but it's actually like when we undo, it's the undoing that actually grows us. And so I really, really loved that word that was given to us. Thank you, Dustin. We met with him. He works at the church, at our sending church, and that was just really encouraging for my heart to hear. And I think that's something we're kind of both walking into this year, is like understanding that, we really want to consult with the Lord, and understanding that it's not about how much we do, but it's actually about how much time we're still with Him, remaining Him, like a childlike spirit. And so, anyways, I'm kind of processing still a little bit out loud, but that is something that we definitely want to do more of, is like this year as we move into this new year. It's like, okay, Lord, in the chaos, in the busy, in the new, in the transition, in the uncomfortable, like, help us to keep remaining. And I love that word remain, because I feel like it implies like coming back to, because it's like we can remain, but then it's like, oh, you know, and then we kind of drift a little bit. It's like, nope, remain, come back, you know. And yeah, so just some thoughts on that. And coming into this new year, we were talking this morning and praying, and I know people sometimes do words for the year or think back about what their word was for last year. I don't remember what our word was for last year. Do you?
Stretch or mold?
Refine or something? I don't remember.
One of those words.
This year, just based on Psalm 131, for me, it's still and remain, I think. And I got remain from John 15 when we were with the Cornwall team. One of the guys, Preston, shout out to Preston, he did a little Devo and talked about remaining and abiding in the vine. And if and when we're connected to him, that's when we'll see fruit. And apart from God, we can do nothing. And that also really resonated with me moving into ministry. And so it's just so important to remain with the Lord and abiding in him. And then it even says in John 15, like, it says, remain in my love. And then it's like, how do you remain in God's love? It says in the very next verse, if you obey my commandments, you will remain in me. And so it's like, okay, being obedient to what God is asking of us. And that's how we remain. And so I think obedience has a lot to do with that. But what was your word that you said you were?
Mine's grow, because I feel like this year is going to be a growing year. Stepping into full-time ministry, continue learning the language, building new relationships, just growing in so many different ways. I'm not usually a huge fan of these words of the year type things, but that's when I think of what this next year is going to be like, I feel like it's going to be a lot of growth. And so I'm sticking with that one.
I think it's, words, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big fan either, but it is fun to kind of foresee and like kind of think through a little bit and ponder what might come. I more so like reflecting on the last year. It's like, okay, Lord, what did you do? Was this word, relevant or whatever? But we still have to sit down and think about what kind of goals and rhythms that we want to include in our lives and how to take care of ourselves and whatnot. Can we jump into Costa Rica now so that we can talk about...
Speaking of Preston, before we run out of time, we flew back to Costa Rica with a team from Cornwall, our sending church. Shout out to you guys if you're watching.
Hi.
Hope you guys are resting
guys.
And back home safe.
You were such a fun team. It was our first team.
First team that we co-led with, and it went really well. We had a team retreat with all the missionaries in Latin America, so we all got an Airbnb together, and we had Dave, I don't know if Dave's watching, but shout out to Dave if he's watching, come to do soul care with us, basically, and it all went really well. The Cornwall team came to serve the kids of all the missionaries that have kids.
They did such a good job.
Yeah, they killed it.
They just all have such servant hearts, and it was such a wonderful time. Dave Bushnell and his wife Karen, they are living in Spokane at the moment. Dave used to work for the Global Leadership Network, which is attached to the Global Leadership Summit in the Midwest. Midwest. But now he started his own business, I think like coaching, and so he speaks at different organizations, but also churches and businesses about leadership. And we really
I'm going in the outway.
We really focused on self-leadership. So it was really fascinating. He was talking about how there's 3 different types of leadership. There's I forgot the names, but there's upward leadership, and then there's downward leadership. And upward is you leading
up, like the people who are above you.
up, people who are
And
above
there's
you.
like a cross where you're just kind of leading with people who are in the same walk of life, the same kind of
I don't know if
walk
there was
as
an
you.
across one. There was an
Uh-huh.
up and a down, and then the self. I'd have to look at my
There
notes.
was.
Okay.
I'm for
Well,
sure.
anyways, apparently a lot of people only talk about the isn't it leading down?
Yeah, there's leading down.
But
too.
leading down is leading people below you, and then leading up
like
is
discipleship.
yeah. We're gonna have to look at our notes.
To be
because-
continued on
To be
that one.
continued on that one, yeah. But anyways, there's this thing with self-leadership, and we don't talk about it as much, and it makes up about 50% of leadership. And oh, someone's calling us. Can you stop it?
There we go.
Okay. Anyway, so
We have arrived at our destination as well. We may have to do a part 2 or
yeah, or just finish here in the parking lot real quick. Okay, so yeah, it was really, really good. And one of the things that we talked about when it comes to self-leadership is being self-aware, knowing ourselves. We went through like a really deep dive into core values and what makes up our core values. And we had like a list of like 300 words, and we had to circle ones that stood out to us. Then we had to condense them into groups. And then based on those groups, can we think of one word that compiles all of those words? And it was just really good. There was a lot of self-reflection. There was a lot of time to like kind of think through that. Then we talked about handling crucial conversations. And yeah, so anyways, it was really rich teaching. It was really good. We enjoyed it. And one of our friends, the team leader Mike, who I used to work with at Cornwall, he got stung by a scorpion. That was crazy. He said it hurt really bad on his finger when he was grabbing his clothes one morning and didn't know it was in there. And one other couple from the church was staying in this room upstairs, and they found a tarantula on their wall. It was quite the buggy place.
Yeah, wouldn't expect it either.
I know. Yeah. So anyways, it was crazy.
There is a guy waiting, holding the door open for us, waiting for us to get out.
Seriously? Where?
So I think we're going to have to come
Where?
back. This guy right behind us. He has the
don't
door
see
open.
him.
He's like right behind you.
It's fine.
He's waiting for us.
Okay.
So we will be back. We're already at 17 minutes. See you in a little bit. We're back.
We're back.
Got a couple extra items in the car with us on this one.
Yes. But we were talking last time about... What were we talking about?
Talking about how there was a scorpion and
Yes.
spiders inside of the Airbnb.
And the Cornwall team did a fantastic job. So we're on our Cornwall church retreat, and we talked about core values and some things we discussed. And yeah, we're pretty tired. It was a long month of living out of a suitcase, and but we are grateful that we're back. We've had several things on our list of things we just wanted to get done while we were in language school, but just didn't have the capacity for. And so now it's been nice to just, well, we've only been here back to our apartment a day, but it's nice to get out and just to do some things that we've been wanting to do around our apartment and whatnot. So, yeah. And this Sunday is Brian's birthday. Yay!
It's true.
Brian
Feliz
is
cumpleaños.
turning 36.
Para mí.
36.
Yep.
And
I'm cresting the hill of the 30s.
yes.
I'm okay with it.
And we don't know exactly what we're going to do yet, but it is Sunday. We are going to be starting to visit the churches, but we still need to figure out a plan to do that as we continue to get, what's that word?
Integrated?
Introduced, yes. And so we plan to
Into the
meet with
chalkboards.
some of our team members, Jason and Abby, to talk about scheduling and how many. I think there's about 13 churches, and so we will be planning some trips. Some of them are going to be overnight because they're a little bit further away. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to practicing our Espanol. And yeah, We did have a meeting on Saturday. The Church of God pastors all came. Pastors. The pastors all came together last Saturday for a annual business meeting, and that was really fun to be at. We went up and we introduced ourselves, and I was like, I had written out what I wanted to say, and I was like practicing while I was sitting in the chair, and Brian's like, don't practice too much, because the more you practice, the more they think that you're really good at Spanish and can talk fluently.
We're better at Spanish than we actually are if you like rehearse and plan to say something.
Yeah, so. Well, I only did it that morning.
We don't need any higher expectations.
We were in the vehicle and on our way to the church, and I thought I should probably say a little bit of something. And so I was like planning just like 2 sentences. So really, it wasn't like I was memorizing it and practicing it and practicing it. It was literally like an hour before the business meeting. But let's see if I can remember what I said. I said, sí, yo soy Melissa, él es mi esposo Brian, estamos muy emocionados para estar aquí con todos ustedes. Y todavía estamos aprendiendo español, entonces gracias por tu paciencia con nosotros. Y bueno, estamos aquí en humildad y para aprender y escuchar, edificar, animar, orar y servir según nuestros dones y habilidades, y confiamos en que Dios nos guiará en todo, en su tiempo. Gracias. So I said, my name is Melissa, this is my husband Brian, and we're excited to be here with you guys. We are still learning Spanish, and so thank you for your patience with us. And we are here in humility to learn, to listen, to edify, to encourage, to pray, and to serve with our gifts and skills. And we are confident in God that He will guide us in everything in His time. Thank you.
Buenos trabajo.
Yeah.
Buen trabajo.
It's one thing to get up and speak in front of people. Most people are afraid to do that. Public speaking is like one of the top 2 biggest fears of people. And it's another thing to do that in a different language. And so I'm actually really excited for us to step into that, because I think it's really going to help us with language learning. Because if we do write stuff out, if we are rehearsing it, that is going to help ingrain what the words mean in our heads. And so I think it is going to be very beneficial. And so, yeah. So I think we're going to, Lord willing, hopefully take this weekend off just to get reoriented, to rest up, and to begin a plan to travel and do that. So looking forward to that. Anything else you want to share?
I think just my highlights of the last month were, of course, getting to see family, getting to see the parents, mom and dad, Skylar, Britt and Megan, all the friends, everyone we got to see. I really enjoyed going to the, our church has called the refuge service. So it's basically like a worship service, and they had a Christmas one. And so that was really fun. And
super good.
Going to Christmas Eve service, just being able to fully understand what was being said. I did enjoy the cold for a little bit. I'm glad to be out of it now.
A little bit.
I enjoyed being in the cold for the time it was. It was a good way to spend the holidays. It was fun coming back with the team, spending time with the Cornwall team, being with all the other missionaries, all of our partners around the country, or Latin America. And now I'm excited just to be back home and to kind of move on to what's next. Everything we've been preparing and planning for, we are stepping into now. So
yes,
appreciate your guys' prayers for that. I think that's it. We were at 17 minutes, now we're at 6, and so we're over 20 minutes now.
Yep. I will end with 2 of the verses that I kind of shared earlier that has been speaking to... Oh, no, I won't, because it's on your... Oh, wait. Let's see if I can remember it. We're using my phone for the video. Let's see if I can remember the verse. Well, I I can't. Oh, shoot. And can I do that while you're doing directions?
Yeah.
Okay. So, verses that we want to close with. Psalm 131, which is kind of what I was sharing earlier. Psalm 131 says, "My heart is not proud, Lord. My eyes are not haughty. I do not concern myself with great matters or things too wonderful for me. But I have calmed and quieted myself. I am like a weaned child with its mother. Like a weaned child, I am content." And I think I spoke a little bit to that last time, but that was just kind of our prayer this morning, is how we move forward in our year, is that we are able to be still and calmed and have a quiet spirit. And then also something that kind of stuck out that was told to us by one of our friends is like, when you think about a weaned child, sometimes it might feel uncomfortable at first taking something good away, but it's for their growth. It's for the baby's growth, so they can begin to start eating solid food. And so when I think about that in our relationship with the Lord, I think about how sometimes in our walk with Christ, He might take things away from us that might hurt or might not feel good in the moment, but are actually for our good, for our benefit, for our growth. Grow is Brian's word for this year. And so just to keep that in mind. And then the last one, which is in John, which is John 15. This is a really great, I'm going to read all of it. It's super good. "I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, He prunes so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If you do not remain in me, you are like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you." That is such a powerful promise. The Lord is saying, if you remain in me and I in you, ask me anything and it will be given to you. Obviously in accordance to God's will. And then it says, "This is to my Father's glory that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples," which I think is so beautiful. If we bear fruit, that is actually like to His Father's glory, to His glory. Like, people will actually be able to see God's glory because you are bearing fruit. And isn't that what we want, is for to be ambassadors and to be able to show God's glory to those around us? And it is to show other people God's glory when we bear fruit. Verse 9, "As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love." How do you remain in your love? How do we remain in God's love? Verse 10, "If you keep my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and remain in His love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command." And then he goes on and on and on. And it's really, really good. I would suggest you read all of chapter 15 in John. But
Bible's a pretty cool book, if you guys didn't know.
Yep.
A lot of reading to do in there, a lot of good things.
But that idea of remaining, abiding in the Lord, that's what we're holding on to as we move forward into ministry, into this transition, and all of that stuff. So, super exciting stuff. Thanks for watching. It was a fantastic month. We hope you guys are going to have a fabulous year. And drop us a comment. We'd love to hear kind of what things, maybe New Year's, I know people don't like to use New Year's resolutions, but what are some goals? What are some things that you're going to try to do? I just listened to a podcast by Sadie Robertson the other day, and they were talking about goals and how it's okay to try something new or write out something you want to do this year, and say you don't get to it. That's okay. Like, write it down for the next year. Maybe you might get to learning a new song on the piano the following year. I don't know. It could be something small. It could be something big. But just having grace for yourself and having it be something to where you can strive to do, whether that's spiritually, physically, or whatnot. So anyways, would love to hear what you guys are doing. You might even spark some ideas for us. And yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Yep. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Good to be back, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.